Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Thursdays with the Mayor. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming City Council meeting coming this Monday night at 6 p.m. at the airport terminal once again. We'll go through the normal council communication and citizen communication part, and we'll get to the consent agenda. Shouldn't be any issues there. Regular agenda, we've got a couple liquor licenses for an approval and a resolution or a public hearing regarding a public development for a community block grant for Pacha's Soap. So that shouldn't be a big issue. Go through the approval of a purchase of a 2025 F-150 electrical vehicle for the Hastings Utility Department, and approval of some insurance coverage for the fiscal year 25-26. And probably the most important part of the meeting is next, which will finish up with a discussion on the establishing of an ordinance for lightweight e-scooters and one-wheel scooter usage on public property. And that other discussion will happen as we are committed to establishing an ordinance to educate and keep our kiddos safe while operating these devices on the city streets and in the city of Hastings. So I'm very committed to get with the police department and our kids in our schools and discuss how to operate these properly and put some ordinances forward to keep our kids safe. So please, if you're listening to that, that's very important and something on our mind to get done sooner than later. So with that, I'm looking at the budget. Just so everybody knows, the 2025-26 city budget was on the docket for last Monday night. If you watch that, I have two words for you. It's done. And if you attended or tuned in and watched the city council meeting, the meeting was filled with spirited debate and a lot of public comments. In the end, concessions were made and a budget was passed. Tune into my podcast on Thursday, October 9th, and I will dive deeper into what implications this budget may have on our upcoming year and further years in the city of Hastings. With that, I wanted to get to the Gather Hastings events that occurred. What was it, last Sunday night? I actually provided the invocation last Sunday night for the Gather Hastings event at the City Auditorium, and that was a fun experience with music and motivation and food trucks. I had a great time celebrating God with my loved ones. There was a huge crowd. Like I always tell people, I'm a little weird. I like to count people. So counted about 800 people, and that was on the floor, and even the upstairs stands was filled up with a lot of people having a good time. There were food trucks out front. It was a great family event. I will be going to the next one, and I just think it was a phenomenal event that they put on down there, and a good thing to get together with your family. So please, the next one I think is in a couple months. Pastor Tevin was great with his band, and I hope to see you all there because I know I will be there in attendance. So that was a good event. Enjoyed it. Let's move on to Food Truck Fridays. The next Food Truck Friday, organized by the Hastings Utility Employee Committee, will be tomorrow, September 19th, beginning at 11 a.m. This will be at the Highland Park parking lot, once again behind the museum. The food trucks this month are Peas Lunchbox and Back Alley Bites. And we're still looking for food trucks for the October 17th event. So if you run a food truck and would like to participate in future Food Truck Fridays, please reach out to the Hastings Utilities on social media. Now, the next thing is I've been getting a lot of calls on it. It's an interest to myself as I was playing golf this last weekend, swatting them like crazy. So spraying for mosquitoes is the next subject. And in response to how bad mosquitoes have been, the Parks and Recreation Department is in the process of spraying for mosquitoes in the parks ahead of certain activities. That includes the softball complex, cemetery, and around the airport ahead of the 5K on the runway. A park staff member sprayed about 5 hours Wednesday night and then started in again at 6 a.m. today. One of the areas sprayed heavily was Duncan Field because there's a football game there tomorrow night. Actually, the city administrator had put out some information to the mayor and city council from the Parks and Rec department, and I'll read that to you. Terry Brown, Parks and Superintendent, is our licensed sprayer. The Parks Department has a fogging machine. About 10 years ago, we had 2 seasonal staff that oversaw the mosquito vector control program during the summer. They worked part-time at the time, and it was about an $8,000 expense for wages. These 2 positions were eliminated during some budget cuts a while back. We do work with South Heartland Health Department, who hires an intern to trap mosquitoes, keep counts, and then test for West Nile. They send bi-weekly reports of counts. And since the mosquitoes were so bad, we're going to go ahead and spray for them. And hopefully we can minimize that problem. I know they're a pain for everybody, especially myself. So that's being handled. Let's get to 5K on the runway. You still have time to sign up for 5K on the runway. I think I've talked about this for the last 2 of these podcasts. And it's a road race organized by the Hastings Park and Rec Department, taking place 8 a.m. September 20th. So that's this Saturday at the Hastings Municipal Airport. I will probably be out cheering some people on, but I will not be running because 5K at one time for me is a little much. But the course will run past the main airport apron that'll have airplanes to view. The deadline to register is Friday. Go to cityofhastings.org/parks to register. So once again, that's this Friday is the deadline, and the race is on this Saturday. So let's move on to Fall Fest. The next Friday, September 26th, will be Park and Rec's Fall Fest beginning at 6 p.m. at Duncan Field. There'll be several activities, including a dunk tank and speed throw challenge. Am I in that dunk tank, Tony? Gosh, I've been in a lot of them. So I may not be in this dunk tank, but somebody will be in there to dunk. Parents and children can catch on the field, and food will be sold on site. The movie Field of Dreams, one of my favorites, will be shown beginning between 7 and 7:30 p.m. once the sun drops enough for a clear screen. That's probably on one of those big inflatable screens, isn't it? Those are kind of cool. I like that. This is a very busy time of year for Parks and Rec Department. I'll provide more information about other programs as they get closer during the future Thursdays with the mayor. For more information, please go to cityofhastings.org/parks or visit the Parks and Rec Department on social media. Sounds like somebody's trying to get a hold of me over here. World's largest truck convoy. Just after the 5K on the runway, September 20th, will be the world's largest truck convoy. Semi-trucks will begin arriving in the afternoon of Friday, September 19th at the Adams County Fairgrounds. There'll be a kickball game with athletes, truck drivers, and law enforcement officers. I think I'm going to have to be there, Tony, to see that. Huh? What do you think? You going to be there? All right. Food and music starting at 5:30 p.m. on Friday for all participants of the convoy, and it's open to the public. Friday night activities include some awards as well. Can I get in on that kickball contest? Huh? They can let me play? Well, I might be out there. I like kickball. The opening ceremony for the convoy will take place at 9 a.m., followed by the participants and drivers getting into position. The first semi-truck will roll out promptly at 10 a.m., and others will follow. The convoy will travel south on Highway 281 from the fairgrounds to Highway 74, then Highway 74 east to South Showboat Boulevard, South Showboat Boulevard to going north to East J Street, and then East J Street coming back west to the original intersection of J Street and South Baltimore. So that's the route if you want to know what the route is. And while this is not a City of Hastings activity, it includes participation from the Hastings Police Department and other participating local law enforcement agencies, including the Adams County Sheriff's Office and Nebraska State Patrol. So, sounds like a lot of people. Little kickball game going on I might get involved in. So if you don't have anything going on, let's get together and maybe see you on Saturday. Let's move on to the songwriting workshop. Hastings Museum will play host to a songwriting workshop with the Talbot brothers, and that's 6:30 p.m. October 2nd at the museum, 1330 North Burlington Avenue. To register, please go to www.hastingsmuseum.org. Let's get to the Stache Bash. Members of the Hastings Firefighters Association Local Union 675 invite the public to participate in the 5th annual Stache Bash. The event will be 5 p.m. to close on Saturday, October 4th, in front of the First Street Brewing Company downtown at 119 North St. Joseph Avenue. Stache Bash will include a live band, food trucks, drinks, and auction to help raise money for the fight against cancer. So please, out there in front of the First Street Brewing, it's going to be a neat event. Let's all show up and enjoy that event. Activity guide. Last thing on the list today, and then be a couple weeks till you see me again. The City of Hastings Fall and Winter Citywide Activity Guide is available in digital format on cityofhastings.org, as well as physical copies all around Hastings. I just so happen to have one here, and I was looking through it earlier. A lot of real good information all throughout. This offers residents programming information for Parks and Rec, museum, library, along with updates of projects happening within the city. You can actually pick one of these things up at any city department location. Looks like Russ's, Allen's, Coach's Corner out on the highway, Phil and Chills all over town, and there'll be many more locations available. So these are going to be all over the city. If you'd like copies in your business, please reach out to the City of Hastings on social media. Is that going to be you, Tony? Tony will bring these to you, or you can come get them, and you can put them in your business. I think I'll probably have them down at the Bullseye. So let's all participate in this, and let's get in one of these in everybody's hand that wants one, and they'll be available readily throughout the city. And that's about it for me. God bless everybody. We'll see you in a couple weeks. What is that, October 9th, did I say? We'll be back on October 9th.